What do you think or feel when you hear about HIV and AIDS?
I'm very scared.
Hartseer.
Ek voel skrikkerig, eerlikwaar, ek skrikkerig.
Dit is mense wat slegte keuses gemaak het in hulle lewens, maar wat leer daaruit?
I think it's something that so many people are afraid of, but there's so many ways to deal with it because there's more than enough people that have it. I think everyone who gets it thinks they're the only person in the world that has it, and it's the worst thing in the world that can happen to them. And as cliche as it sounds, it's not a death sentence. Nowadays, there's so many drugs and lifestyle changes you can make to make your life work, and you can deal with it.
How do you think HIV and AIDS is transmitted?
Well, as far as I know, basically it's more about blood transmissions and physical, which is sex. Unprotected sex.
Onveilige seks.
Obviously sex. Unprotected sex.
Well, it's sexually transmitted, mostly. But sometimes it also happens, as they say, through injections and stuff in clinics where nurses accidentally inject themselves and then they inject the patient.
Yeah, open wounds and stuff. Yeah.
What is the best way to prevent HIV and AIDS?
Condomize. Abstinence.
Condomize, I'd say.
Dra kondoom.
Abstinence.
I don't know, stick to one partner, or if it was religious, that it would be to actually not have sex before marriage.
As much as there's a lot of information out there about AIDS and stuff, I still feel that there's not enough and there can never be enough.
As jy seker goed wil doen, wees veilig, maar moet nou regtig nie gaan en 'n goedkoop enetjie wat dronk is optel en dink jy gaan dit nie optel nie.
How safe do you think condoms are?
They're not very safe. There's a lot of mishaps with condoms breaking and everything. The best way is just to abstain as long as possible. It's the best.
There's always a better choice than choice condoms. I know they're free, but
I think that they're relatively safe. Like, I think if you know how to put it on and you put it on properly and you get the right fit, then 90% safe.
Hang af wat jy gebruik. As dit choice is, jy het 'n keuse. Choice mag werk, maar dit kan nie 'n goeie keuse wees nie.
Well, I've heard that they're like 97% effective. So they're obviously not effective all the time, and they can break. So you should be careful with who you're having sex with.
Redelik veilig, beter as sonder kondome.
I don't know, probably about like a 20% chance of not getting AIDS if you use a condom.
You know what? I don't really think condoms are safe. I have this theory that they're safe, yes, but they're not that 99.9%. I don't think so. I think maybe it's 70%. I don't think they're as safe as they say they are. There has been too many stories about condoms saying there's been worms and there's what-whats in them and there's holes, and if you put water in, then water comes out. So you never know. And you can never say, I'm going to buy Lavis Plus, or I'm going to buy Choice, or I'm going to get the free ones, or I'm going to go buy Durex. Because you can say it's expensive, and it's like one condom's 25 rand, and then all of a sudden, it's not going to help. And then next thing you got AIDS or you're pregnant or something, you know what I mean?
So yeah, I agree with her. I don't think condoms are 100% safe. I think probably 60, 70%, you know, because people still get AIDS with condoms anyway, yeah.
How important is abstinence to you?
To me, it's very important. Not only because of the high AIDS rates, but yeah, I think it's quite important.
Nee, seks, kom on. Dit gebeur elke dag. Jy kan nie, dis iets wat jy kan voorkom nie. Nee.
Abstinence is important unless you got tested. For me.
I actually disagree, bro. I think only one partner for your whole life. If you have the right person,
go for it. Otherwise,
even if she has AIDS.
No, but if it's the right person, it's the right person.
Right person, being married or?
Being married, like wait for marriage, do it right, you know. Don't just spoil it on anyone.
If you really believe that you should not abstain, then before you even start having sex, go for an HIV test. Many clinics is free. There's no charge. They won't phone your parents. They won't tell anybody. It's just for you. And as soon as you know, then fine, go crazy. But as soon as you know your status, if you're negative, fine. But if you're positive, tell your partner. I think it's really important that you free with your partner and they know what's going on, because I think it's a very selfish thing to be positive and not tell your partner. I think it's very selfish.
I honestly think just abstain, stay away from it, get married, then you can do it. You've got how many years with your husband? I'm sure you can catch up, but just abstain.
What do you think is the driving force behind the spread of HIV and AIDS in South Africa?
To be honest, I think sex is the main cause. Let's be honest, it is. People aren't educated about sex, especially in Africa and South Africa.
People in South Africa are so ignorant. I think they all think that it's not going to happen to me. AIDS happens to everyone. People need to stop thinking that it's not going to happen to me. They need to just abstain or condomize.
Drank speel definitief 'n invloed, ek moet sê, obviously, want almal kuier en dan maak jy veral slegte keuses. En oningeligtheid. Ek meen regtig. Okay. Almal weet nie daarvan dat ek meen jy weet waarvan ek praat.
Ja.
Okay.
A lot of people have unprotected sex while being totally drunk. Most unprotected sex is had when people are totally sloshed, sleeping with anyone and everyone they can get into.
Alcohol is a huge contributor to this whole situation because
unsafe sex.
Yes, because when people are under the influence, sometimes they get over, and then some people get under the influence where they don't remember anything. They don't know anything about themselves. They don't remember what happened the night before. So that's a bit dangerous when you get drunk and then you go sleep with someone and you don't remember the night before if you had sex with them with a condom or without a condom, but you're missing clothes or something. You know what I mean? So yeah.
People under the influence just do it.
Yeah.
They don't even think about condoms at that point in time. They just do it. So, like, most of the time, I think that's when people actually get HIV or AIDS. Yeah.
I've just got to sum it all up in one sentence. You're more horny when you're drunk.